Hi everybody, welcome back to my art journal channel. Today I'm going to be playing with some scrap effects things and creating a couple of spreads in my Dylusions journal. So I'm starting off by just cutting a scalloped edge to this page, just because I wanted to do something a little bit different really. So once I'd done that, then I added some gesso to the pages that I was going to use. So I was going to be using Dahlia Dot, which is an image designed by Michelle Logan for Scrap FX, and there's a set of 3 of them. They are great images to use to get a real impact with the journal page. So then I used some number collage paper, also from Scrap FX, and just sticking that down with some gel medium. So sometimes when I start journaling, I do have an idea of what I want to do, and sometimes I really don't. This was one where I'd kind of had an idea in my head for a while of something that I wanted to have a go at doing, and so I was starting off with an idea of how it was going to work. So then on the 2 pages behind that first one, I'm just adding some more of the collage paper and sticking that down using the gel medium again. This is the Circle Marks stamp, also from Scrap FX, and I'm just using that in a few places, just adding some more interest to the background. Then I'm starting off with some colour. So you'll notice today I'm using my 3 favourite colours to use together, and that is the lemon, a turquoise, which is, these are both from Dina Wakley Media, and then this permanent red violet light from Amsterdam Acrylic, which is beautiful pink. These colours, they just really sing together. I love the way they blend. I love the colours they make where they blend. Yeah, it's my favourite combination. And then I'm using the circular shawl stencil with a little bit of white paint, just to kind of calm the background down a little bit, but not too much. So this first page gets echoed on the pages behind as well. So this is the 9 dot stamp, also from Scrap FX, and I'm just using the Stays On ink in a fuchsia pink colour, just sort of keeping the colour palette the same. So then you can see I'm just repeating the process on these 2 pages behind. Again, just adding the colours and mixing them a little bit. So then I do give these 2 colours a quick dry, so they're not completely dry, but just a little bit more dry than they are at the beginning, before I add the pink colour, because I wanted it to blend a little bit but not too much. I didn't want to lose the lovely bright vibrant pink. They just make me happy, these colours, they're so lovely. And again, I'm using the same stencil and the white paint on these pages. I'm just using a makeup sponge just to add the paint through. I'm not using a lot of paint, I'm just, just want a little hint of pattern on the background. And again, I'm using the same stamp with the same ink. You can see the colour palette works really well together. So then I decided that the place where I was going to put the image was too bright, so I'm just smooshing on a bit of paint with my fingers, and that's where Dahlia is going to go. So I'm just using a glue stick just to stick her in place. Okay, so now she's in place, I'm then going to start measuring out where I'm going to have a little window, because I wanted a little window where she could peep through. And then obviously I'm just using my scalpel with the scalpel craft knife. It is a craft knife, but it has got scalpel blades in it, so it is very, very sharp. I'm just cutting that window through. So these dots were also part of the page of images, and I just cut them up and added them on. And then I'm just using a Pitt pen just to add some shadowing to those things, just to help them stand out a little bit. So then it's time just to do a bit of doodling and mark making on the page. So I'm just using this white gel pen. It's a Signo Uniball, and I'm just outlining some of those pink dots and doing some lines on them. And then I got my fluorescent pink Posca pen and just doing some more mark making on the page too. So these are some watercolour circles that I painted a large sheet, and then I've got a circle punch and I just punched a whole pile out, and I just keep them in a tin. They're really useful to use, just to have like a little stash. I suppose it's a bit like collage fodder, isn't it? And then I'm just creating this little heart, which I outlined and then stuck on another circle, and that's just going to get stuck across the window like that. And then again, more dots and mark making on there. Now this is a stamp set by Darkroom Door called Alphabet Medley. I love fonts and playing with fonts, and I'm starting to collect different stamp sets. I think it's lovely sometimes to use a stamp set with a font that's ready-made. I do tend to use my own writing a lot, as you know, but I think sometimes it is nice just to have that different element on your page, and to use a set of stamps that has a font that's already created. So then I'm just sticking those in place using some gel medium. So this quote came on the sheet as well, so I'm just putting that where I want it to go. And I decided I wanted to keep this page fairly simple. I wanted the colours to pop, I wanted the image to really be the big focal point. So once I've stuck those in place, I'm then going to use some of the circles that were also on the collage sheet, and I've stuck those onto some more of the watercolour circles that I had created. You can see here I'm just roughly outlining that page. Then I decided to paint in the fantastic kind of turban that's on this lady's head. Maybe it isn't turban, maybe it's hair. If it's hair, then it's gone pink, and that's fine. I just wanted that to sort of, I don't know, it felt it needed to be pink to go with the page. Sometimes you don't really know why you do things like that, but you know, that's okay. So then I've stuck the dots onto those circles and just outlined them with the black. And then I think I do a bit of mark making on them too before I stick them in place. Then I'm using some Posca pens in some of the same colours that are on the page, even if it's colours that were just blended where colours mixed. This yellow one was being a bit naughty and it kept doing massive blobs, but it was okay, it looked fine. And then again, just down in that corner, doing the same thing. And then of course, you know, can't stop, I've got to keep going. So then I added some cheddar onto the circles on her headgear, which it is now. And then this is a fine applicator little pot with just a bit of white acrylic paint in. I just did a bit of writing and then decided I would draw some botanicals on there too. There we go. So this is the finished page. You can see it's actually 3 pages that work together with the little window there where Dahlia is peeping through. I love how these colours work together. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing how I've used all these lovely Scrap FX goodies. Thanks for watching.